Hey y'all, I've been meaning to make a video about all the California fires and everything that I have been going through lately in LA. And I was directly affected by the fires in Pacific Palisades because I live in the hills near Malibu. Honestly, it was really traumatizing to actually like be running away from flames coming up the hill and just seeing all the images that I saw. And I wanted to share these images with you. I haven't posted them or anything because I didn't really feel the need to do that. I just felt like in the moment like I wanted to, save my life in some way. And a lot of this has affected me in so many ways, like financially, emotionally. I'm going to be okay in every way because I always overcome things. And I've been through so much in my life that, you know, it's just another thing that, I guess I can put under my belt. I don't know. But yeah, I'm grateful for the firefighters and the first responders. And these guys are like true heroes. It's insane, like what they went through just to like save us and to like be there for us. In the moment, I was really, really panicking. I didn't know what I was gonna do. It felt like the end of the world. It felt like everybody was leaving and evacuating, and it felt like, oh my God, what are we gonna do now? Like our city is already shitty. And we've been going through everything with COVID and all types of stuff. And in the moment, I thought my world was ending. I thought that my life was ending. I thought we're done. LA's done. Our economy is shit already. And it's like with all this, it's like, yeah, I'm actually considering leaving as well. A lot of people are leaving. I wanted you guys to see what I went through and what I captured. And this first video was when I initially found it was like the day that the Santa Ana winds were kicking in, and the winds were so strong. It was literally like 95 miles per hour winds or some craziness. And I was driving and I had to pull over because the wind was so strong. It was like shaking my car like back and forth. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what do I do? And the first thing I did was I called my mom. So I pulled over and I just sat there for like an hour in my car without it on. And I was just like, I'm not going to drive in this because what if my freaking car, like, turns over or whatever? I mean, it was so bad. So, anyways, this was the winds. I pulled over and for like an hour and stayed in my car because the winds were so bad. And then I checked the weather and I was in Woodland Hills, like running errands and stuff. And then I was like, oh my God, the weather is actually really bad right now. And, I heard the winds were getting strong and everything, but I was feeling the winds in real life and thinking, oh my God, this is similar to like when I grew up in Texas with hurricanes and stuff. So I was like, this is really serious. For me to like call my mom and say, oh my God, my car's shaking. I had to pull over, check the weather, and the winds kind of died down at that point. And mind you, this was the very first day of all the fires. I think the fire actually did start at that point. This was like January 7th. The winds kind of went down a little bit. Then I made it back home. And this is the video from my backyard. At this point, it was just the beginning of it, and it was getting really crazy. Like, the winds were picking up, and you can see in the video how, like, there's like kind of like an orange light coming over. That's the hill. That orange light was coming from the other side of the hill. So the other side of the hill that I live on is Malibu, but my side is the valley side in Tarzana. So you could kind of, that first day, you can kind of see the orange creeping up the hill. And so, it was really scary. But, as the days progressed, it got even worse. Another fire had went off in Hollywood. And these are the images that I saw. So when the fires in Hollywood went off, all I could think about was like all my friends that are living in Hollywood. So I started calling everybody that lived in the Hollywood Hills, and I was just like, everybody was literally just like partying. They were literally partying, not giving a care in the world, not looking at the news. They didn't even know it was a fire. But it was going up in Hollywood Hills in Hollywood, and was threatening to like ruin the Hollywood sign and all this other stuff. So I called my friends and I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of Dodge. There's a fire going on, wake the fuck up. And it was just driving me nuts how like people just didn't even know that any of this was going on. So, everybody started evacuating in Hollywood as well. So, yeah, I got those images, those last images, I got them from the Watch Duty app, and they were posting a whole bunch of stuff on the Watch Duty app. So by the third or fourth day, it was getting worse. And you can actually see the next images that I'm going to show you. I was around the corner from my house at at the one of the stores right there, and you can see from the shopping center, you can see all the smoke coming up. Well, my house is literally right in back of that shopping center, and mind you, the smoke and just being bothered by like all the smoke in the air, coughing and this and that, I was shocked to see like so much smoke coming up the hill like that so quickly within 3 days. And it was just progressing and progressing and progressing, and constantly checking the Watch Duty app to see where this fire is going. Mind you, I'm not sleeping, I'm panicking, I'm going crazy. Everybody's acting like nothing. They're like, oh, it's no big deal, we doing this all the time. No, it was a big deal. We could die. But anyways, the next images are from my house and how it looked, from the view from my house, and the smoke getting worse and the fire coming up the hill. So at this point, the smoke is getting worse in my backyard. As you can see, the backyard with the tennis court and everything, you could see the smoke coming up the hill, and it was getting worse like by the minute. So at that point, I said, even though we didn't have an evacuation order, I wanted to get out, because I'm like, I'm not going to stick around for this. Like, I was coughing and just irritable and all this stuff. And not to mention, I have a fire station on the corner of my street. So in order for the firefighters to get up the hill, they had to go down my street. So I was constantly hearing sirens and fires, and that was how I deciphered whether or not it was the fire was getting worse, was because if I hear more fire trucks, then it's like, oh shit, you know, it's getting worse. Or like, because sometimes the app wasn't updating and people weren't telling us really what was going on. They didn't want to scare us and this and that. So, but I was in it, so I can actually hear and see the shit that's going down. So once I saw that smoke in my backyard like that, I said, something needs to be done. I have to get out before this gets crazy. So sure enough, later that night, it was progressing and getting worse. Later on that night was when it got really bad. It was in the middle of the night. I go to Ralph's and in Encino, and you can, at that point, the fire was going up the hill over Encino. And Encino is like an area that's like right next to mine or whatever. Like, you know, it's very close. It's literally 4-minute drive to get to the Ralphs. And yeah, so when I saw that flame, this flame, that's when I knew this is fucking serious. So after seeing that flame at the Ralph's parking lot like that, and seeing how the flame is actually coming to our side of the hill, like not only is it burning Malibu, but it is now coming to this side of the hill, to the valley area. So now there was evacuation orders all in Encino. I'm calling friends like, you need to get the fuck out of your house. There's a fucking evacuation. You know, it was just like a whole thing. So the whole valley and everybody on this side of the hill was all evacuating. So it's like, at that moment, it's like, what do you do when everyone's evacuating? Where do you go? So I'm calling friends, and you realize who your real friends are when they offer to at least take you or like take you in, or you know, at least you can come to their house. But what do you do when everyone you know is in the valley or Hollywood or whatever, and everyone's evacuating? People are all over LA are evacuating. So little by little, everybody's just leaving, right? And at this point, I'm like freaking out because I haven't worked in like a whole week. So I'm like, what am I going to do for money? Like, this is crazy. Like, what if everyone leaves and then our whole economy's done? It's like, I have bills to pay. I have stuff to like, that's going to be taking out of my bank account and this and that. So I was really freaking out, and I'm used to eating out every day. So I said, well, let me go have a meal or something, because they were giving out free meals. And at first I was apprehensive of, you know, even taking meals, because there's people who actually have, you know, have lost their homes and everything and really need free meals. But I went anyways because I was scared in the moment, and I was thinking, well, I need money too. Like, this is affecting me with money. Like, I can't just go and spend money. I went to Sprouts and I spent like $100, and I was thinking, what if our power goes out? Then all my groceries are done. You know, like, I've been through hurricanes in Houston before. So I know the drill of, you know, natural disasters and like evacuating and XYZ. So, but I looked on the map and it showed where in my neighborhood that I can get a free meal. And here's what I saw, the free meal.
I found it. Yes. Do you know what this pizza is?
I know, as soon as you see, I don't know. As soon as you see camera.
Hi, thanks for coming out. You're so welcome. This is a good place. Hey, why are you being such a...
This one, yeah. This one is
So as you can see, nobody was there getting the free meal. And the reason why was because I live in a really nice neighborhood, and the people that have homes here and who, all the families and whatnot, Calabasas and Woodland Hills area, Agora Hills, all these areas, people are really wealthy and they like already left town. So nobody was in town. Literally everyone evacuated, but they're over in like a hotel in like Anaheim or something like that. So I showed up, and it was actually really fancy because I guess it was in a nice neighborhood. So they had spaghetti, as you can see in the video before. It was like gourmet shit. It was like gourmet spaghetti, and also they had like a farmer's market where you can get veggies and everything. And so I got a bunch of stuff actually for friends nearby, and I started just delivering food to friends because I was just thinking of friends. And it makes you realize like we all need each other. We all have to be here for each other. We have to support each other and like come together in times like these. So I remember also that was my first time ever getting a free meal anywhere, at any like food place or like, this type of situation. And I think it just like, I couldn't take it because I couldn't believe what I was doing. I thought my life was going to be over. I thought like, oh my God, I need money. I need, and just all these things happening. And I just started crying. Like I just started crying, like getting the free meal. And it was in that moment that I realized I'd never cried on anyone's shoulder before. And there was a lady at the food thing, and I was just crying like amongst myself, like kind of like getting teary-eyed. Oh my God, I'm getting teary-eyed right now. But I was getting teary-eyed. I don't want to mess up my my lashes, but I was getting teary-eyed because I couldn't believe that I was getting a free meal, and I couldn't believe that I was a person that had to do this. And she looked at me and she goes, do you need a hug? And I said, yeah. And so I hugged her, and I was able to like really bawl and like cry on her shoulder. And I've always been like a really independent person, and I never had to like, I realized that there was only a few times in my life, like maybe 2 times, where I have actually been able to cry on someone's shoulder. So yeah, I mean, it just puts so many things in perspective, because even like when I had to evacuate, I was like, what do I put in my bag? Like my go bag? I didn't put anything in. I honestly took 1 change of clothes, and that was it. And I had gotten like a whole bunch of like really expensive stuff from, just like designer things and then I had like a whole bunch of stuff. And then I was just thinking, I don't even care. I'm not even going to put that in the bag. It just really makes you realize what's important in life. What's important is your health and your life, and that's why I say it changed my life forever. It made me realize who my real friends are, who is really there for me, because there was a lot of people calling me as well, and they kind of just wanted to know the tea. They're not like actually really caring about me. Like, oh my God, what happened? What? And it's just like they want a key, and I'm literally here hurting. Like I'm literally here crying every day, worried about my life, worried about what's next. And is this fire going to burn me? And if it does, where do I go? Because everybody's gone. And the people who are here, maybe they're not like really all there, were really gonna help me in any way. So it was just like so much stuff going through my mind. And when I actually did evacuate, I had nowhere to go. I was calling people, they were all evacuating, and then there was some people who were just so nonchalant, people who you think that they're your friends, they just weren't. And you don't want to bother people in the middle of the night and all this stuff. So anyways, I have a music studio that I share with 4 other musicians, and we all like have our music equipment in there, and it's in North Hollywood. So I was like, oh, I'll just go up to the studio and just crash at the studio. I walk into the studio. I didn't get a video of this, but I walk into the studio, and because everybody is evacuating, they wanted to salvage their instruments. So I walk in, and there's like instruments to the freaking roof. Like, I'm like, dude, there's nowhere to sleep in here. So then I was waiting for people to come by, and then my friend said, oh, if you have the key, wait for me to get there, and I need to drop off my drums. And I'm talking drums and guitars, and like everything was like piling up to the ceiling. And it was just like, whoa, okay. So I waited it out until the morning time, and then I just ended up coming back home. And at this point, it had been a whole week, and I wasn't working and I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, let me just get these free meals. I need to save money. The economy's just totally at a standstill. Everyone's gone. So I'm just like, I'm gonna take advantage of these free meals. So the next free meal place I went to was like, they had tacos and stuff, which I thought was interesting because they got the fancy gourmet farmers market in Agora Hills in Calabasas. But when you get further into the valley where it's like more not so fancy, now they want to give us tacos. Honestly, they had so much food that I was like, let me just start feeding people in the area, feeding people in the neighborhood. And so I got a whole bunch of tacos, and I was always making sure that I would get there at the end, like when they closed, like at 8 p.m. And just whatever they had left, I would take, and then I would go, feed the homeless and like give them meals and different things, and just trying to help people and stuff. I'd say about like the fourth or fifth day, I had to stop getting the free meals because I would go at the end when they were closing just to see whatever they had left and stuff. And I walked up and I saw a lady at like 8 p.m. when they were closing. And then I saw a lady walk up with like 4 kids, and they said, oh, this is all the rice we have. And they were about to give me like the last of like the rice that they had. And I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, she needs the food more than me. So that's when I knew like I had to stop doing the free meals. But in between all this, I was also doing volunteering. So I was seeing like images of like people hurting and animals hurting. I was at the animal shelter volunteering, and just all of these images in my mind, just seeing people hurt, and like the magnitude of what is going on in LA was really sinking into me. And I'm actually a hairstylist. And a lot of my clients were evacuated and not even in town, and some of them even lost their complete. I have friends too who have lost their entire home, who just bought a home in Palisades and just have kids, just had kids, and have a wife and kids. And like even though these people have money, it's still really devastating to see all of your clients and all of these people that lose everything that they have. It's really, that's why when people don't really they don't give us enough sympathy in the media and things like that. But we really are hurting, and we still are. So, yeah. Anyways, I would see random animals like walking by, and just they're lost, they're looking for their owner, or like the wildlife just running around like nowhere to go. So I tried to capture like one video of one of the animals I saw. So Is he hurt? I think he's hurt. This whole experience has changed me so much in so many ways. I have so much clarity now. I know who really does care about me after just experiencing all this, and like who called me and who didn't, who just wants to know the tea, who just wants to, all the fake people, done. Done. No fake people. My family, I'm so grateful for all the prayers. I'm grateful 1000% for the people of service and the LAPD, the firefighters, everybody involved. Like without them, we would be nothing. This whole thing, like, it's insane what they have to go through just to keep us safe and just to keep us, and we take that for granted, very much so. And I'm so grateful for my life. I'm grateful that I survived it. And I'm just continuing to go. And I just wanted to make a long video, long form video for you guys that, so you can see the images, the very little images that I did actually get. It was hard to even be filming anything, during all this. But yeah, I just have to keep going, and still here, and still I made it. So glad that I made this video, and I just want to like kind of just relax a little bit and not have to think about it. And getting all this out, I'm having to relive it, but it does feel better to get it all out and to let you guys know really what was going on. Thanks for listening if you got this far, and thanks for supporting me, because I really do need support. And I want to continue to make content and everything like this, and just several different things that I have planned for 2025. So I'm just trying to be positive and trying to like just keep it moving, and things will be okay, as far as financially. And I'm always gonna overcome things. I've been through a lot in my life, and maybe I'll share more of my stories like this. But yeah, God is good, and I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful for you as well. I'm grateful for everyone who prayed for me and who just sticks by my side. And I'm just so grateful for the support that you guys give me. So thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon with more things for my Patreon. So thank you. Love you.